The Messerschmitt Development Department received a directive in 1942 to streamline their production. To stop new designs coming through and interrupting production flow. This way, Germany could output more types of aircraft that were similar to, well, ones that were already in production. So, not to disrupt the production lines with new aircraft, it was decided that Germany would pursue joining two Me-109s together, along with a new center wing and tailplane section, and they came up with this thing. This is the BF-109Z, a wonderful aircraft that is in War Thunder. It is a battle rating 4.7 rank 4 premium at the current time, and Guardian have lent me this as a test drive, and is it worth it? Well, stick around to find out. G'day, I'm Ash. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be flying out and, well, looking at the BF-109Z. And as I said in the intro there, the BF-109Z was a combination of streamlined production coming down, and, well, they wanted to develop new types of aircraft but wanted to utilize existing production lines. So they came up with this thing. Despite this thing being a prototype, however, the thing that we've got in game here is not reminiscent of the actual aircraft that flew IRL. In fact, in real life, this aircraft didn't actually exist. Now, hold your thoughts. There was one prototype that flew. It was the 109Z with the F4 fuselages. What we've got here in game is the G6 fuselages. And, well, it used 90% of existing 109 parts that they had available. And this particular aircraft was built as a prototype and was going to go for air testing in 1943, but was damaged in an Allied air attack, and, well, they abandoned the project. And, well, by 1944, the 262 had taken, leisure over some of the other projects that Messerschmitt had been doing. So, back onto the 109Z here. The BF-109Z is a rank 4 battle rating 4.7. It's got 30mm cannons, the Mark 108, and it's got 4 of them. But it has a limiting ammo capacity of only 260, and in certain matches, it can provide quite a pain when going to go shoot some enemies. As for the armor, however, it's kind of lackluster. The pilot doesn't get very much protection, and this thing, shooting it in a head-on is guaranteed to knock out the pilot, as long as you aim for the rightmost engine. Like a knife through hot butter. 109Z, while is a decent aircraft as a whole, it's really lackluster and kind of heavy. It struggles in the basic turns, and if you try looping this thing, it really struggles. It's most likely that you won't reach the maximum speed of this vehicle, only due to the fact that its cruising speed is only 570 kilometers an hour at 3,000 meters. That being said, it does have a max speed of 743 kilometers an hour, but you will only likely to be able to reach those speeds in a dive. But the likelihood that you'll even catch an enemy in a dive is another question altogether. Overall, it's a decent aircraft, but it lacks the performance to really keep up with some of the things it faces, even at 4.7. That being said, the guns are absolutely amazing, and provided you can catch your enemy maybe in a climb, it certainly does the job until you realise that the climb rate is not exactly ideal. Considering this aircraft is kind of heavy, well, you end up in situations like this. You know what? Welcome to the German space program. That's right. Let me give you an idea. I'm at 9,600 meters, and there was a guy up there running away who's the last on my team, who's being an absolute prick. And despite me trying to do my best efforts to get up to his altitude, he's at about 1.5 kilometers above me and this other 109. So, yeah. In the first few games that I had in this very vehicle, I played it a bit cautiously as I hadn't flown with it very much, but even so, One thing to notice here is the roll rate on the aircraft is really awful. At higher speeds it gets a little bit better, but nothing to cheer about. Turning is quite good at around 600 kilometers an hour, and if you try and turn it on a penny or flip it on a dime, as you can see here, it just does not want to go down. And I'm trying to chase this enemy aircraft over here, but I've just lost the plot. The P-47 is now ages away. Despite this, yeah, it picks up speed quite quickly in a dive, and I think that you should really play this aircraft strictly with a boom and zoom / energy roll, because it's kind of hard to, well, get to the altitude you need to. So, another quick tip is also side climbing this vehicle. It's very important that you get the altitude you need, but don't turn too much because you'll lose all that energy, and this thing is a real slug when it comes to turning around. So as you can see here, I'm trying to catch the inside of the P-47, and of course with such low velocity guns that fire extremely slowly, with the Mark 108s that is, it is particularly important that you nail your first hits with this vehicle. Anyway, we're going to pull back up here, we're going to see if we can get on the 6 of that aircraft any day now. Yep, any day now. Come on, around we go. And just watch as the Spitfire makes a critically acclaimed mistake here. He just realizes that, oh, you're going to come head on with me? In a vertical like that, there he stood no chance. Just walked the guns straight into his airplane. But yeah, that was just a one-case example. Putting this thing in a dive and going past its top speed is kind of dangerous, as the wingtips seem to just magically disappear, as with any aircraft that reaches its top speed. So there's the reduced speed warning, and I just lift up slowly and just drop that speed back down, pump the throttle a little bit, and now we go after this P-47 here. Again, get the reduced speed, so I'm going to have to break away, pull vertically up here, and loop around and re-engage, because this is the best way to do things. Using your energy to your advantage is key here. Of course, the P-47 turns in too far. I'm getting the gauge for the guns. He's too busy focused on killing ground units. I can pop a few rounds towards him. Not quite yet used to the velocity of the guns, and boom, there's my kill. So, my thoughts on this airplane so far is it's slow, it's cumbersome, it's a little heavy, the roll rate isn't exactly perfect, it's got really great guns, and its top speed isn't bad, but its acceleration is incredibly poor. Its handling overall is kind of up in the air, but provided you do get hits on an enemy aircraft like that, and you're spraying and praying like you would with shotguns, and your gun targeting distance is low enough, then it makes all the difference. However, watch this clip just here. You're trying to outmaneuver something that's coming in directly behind you. You can get the first turn away, but as soon as you come in contact with more than just one enemy player, it kind of becomes a pain. You can't do that turn too many times. Now, I understand that Guardian's got to make their money, and while this thing comes with 15 days of premium and 1,000 golden eagles for $30 US on the Guardian store, I'm kind of disappointed that this thing didn't just get added to the regular tech tree. That being said, first impressions. Vehicle, as I said, clumsy, slow, but when it hits, it certainly hits. And it certainly cannot fly on one engine. And if you do get hit and the thing gets caught on fire, good luck putting that fire out. So yeah, those are my first impressions of this vehicle. I'll go into a more in-depth review at a later point. Bit of a quick video today, I've got loads of things to do, but anyway, that's not your problem. My name's Ash, and I'll catch you in the next one.